So today's experiment is your optimum alarm dose through jar test. Okay. So in the right here you can see this is the jar test apparatus setup. So basically why we do the test? So earlier you have read that the different types of impurities in a water. We do the water test because to check its quality, standard, impurities. So suppose in a jar there is a water, and in that water if you set aside the water for a certain time, after certain time you can see that whatever heavy particles are there which are dissolved in the water, they settle down. So mostly you have seen, suppose there is a beaker there, in the beaker there is a water, so after some time the particles settle down. So why these particles settle down? For which type of particles settle down?
Particles heavier than water.
Which are particles which are heavier, means whose density is higher, so they basically settle down. So this type of sedimentation we can do normally with the plain sedimentation process, where for a certain time you put the water sample, after certain time you can see there is certain amount of impurities which are present, they settle down in the water. But after settling also you can see there are some particles which are lighter and these are floating in the water. So that's why that floating type of soil particles, it will be a soil particle also or any dust also which are floating in the water. So they form a view of whatever you have done in your turbidity test, the cloudiness in the water. So they float in the zone. So one type of particles which are heavier or whose density is higher, they easily settle down, so we don't have to treat for them, we can easily remove this. But some particles are there which float. So whatever particles which are floating in the water, basically for them we have to apply certain coagulant. So that coagulant, what will they do? So they mix with the particles which are floating, they make them heavier and later on they settle down. Means some particles which are floating there. So whenever the coagulant agent is being applied, so they stick to it, they form in the form of just like cloudiness or a cotton appearance. So they mix with that particles, they make them heavier, and after that sometime you can see it settle down. So many times you have seen that whenever in your home for filtration process you use the alum, or that we call fitkiri in normal usage. So if you give a certain quantity of that alum, that is called alum, what will happen? In the bottom you can see there is a type of that the impurities which is settled down, and pure water or clean water that is on the top surface. So why we do use this test? Because in our treatment plant, water treatment plants are there where either you treat the wastewater or you treat the drinking water for the normal usage of the persons or the consumers who are there. So at the time of treating them, we are applying several processes. Sedimentation is there, filtration part is there, then you are applying certain chemicals for removing the chlorine, excess chlorine, you are maintaining the pH. So in that case also, what you have to apply? You have to apply certain amount of that alum. So with that alum dose, you can able to identify that is your optimum alum dose. Based on the optimum alum dose, your water is being purified, and now this purified water is being used by the people or the consumers here. So what is the step we are following here? Suppose there are two methods. One method, either you change, here you can see there are 6 pallets. In the right side, here you can see in the apparatus, basically here you have to apply 6 jars. In the 6 jars, there are 6 pallets are there. These pallets are inserted there, and initially you apply different alum dosages. 2 mg per 3 mg, 4 mg, 6, 10, 12, 14. Different alum dosages are being applied in that jar. So these jar quantities, the water quantities are around 500 ml to 1 liter based on the capacity of the jar. So you first put the water that you want to test, you apply alum dose, then here at the 100 rpm for a certain time period it is being rotated. After that what happens? just wait for some time, and again you have to slow down the RTM process so that flocculation occurs. So initially coagulation occurs, then flocculation occurs. So because of that, after that process, 30 minutes, say, all the particles settle down. So then you can observe that here also there is a light at the bottom. The light will coming up and it will give you a glimpse that which water is clear, or among different alarm dosages, which provides you a better view of the clarity or the differentiation between the clear water and the impurities. So that after a particular point, your optimum alarm dose you can choose, say for this much of 1 liter, your optimum alarm dose is 10 mg per liter. But for a treatment plant, you have to do for 100 liters of water. So 100 into 10 mg. So whatever quantity of alarm dose is you are getting, that you have to apply on the treatment plant. So that is the basic output from this test. You are quantifying an optimum alarm dose. But basically what happens, suppose you don't have any variable water type, you have any drinking water. So mostly what we will do, we will change the values of different pH by adding acid. There the different water pH values are to change or alter to get a different type of water. So then you apply the alarm dose and you check. That is a theoretical process. But practically on the field, what we have to do, a certain water sample is there. That water sample you have to check, and for that water sample directly on different jars you have to put it, and you have to put different alarm dosages. So here also the another process, you have to do the turbidity, because based on the turbidity and alarm dose there is a correlation. So you plot the values of turbidity, then you plot the different alarm dosage percentages. So at a particular point, there you can see there is a drop. There will be a drop in the optimum alarm dose. Then after that again it starts increasing and increasing. So that drop, at that particular dropping point, you have to check that what is the optimum alarm dose, and that you have to note down as your value for the calculation part. So later on in the experimental part, you can see that how the 6 jars are being inserted there, and after that inserting, the pallets will rotate within that range of RPM, and after the rotation of the pallets, at the last you have to note down the values, that based on which value or which optimum alarm dose you can rectify or modify the soil type, so that water quality. Okay. So now you start the experiment.